I am Scented Fawn, a traveler of the fragrance space-time. Today, we step into the airy and radiant world of clean, out-of-the-shower, minimalist fragrances, which are currently in the spotlight and have a serious momentum, giving life to the refreshing allure of the modern soapy fragrance aesthetic. Think of perfumes that smell like soap and sunlight, laundry drying in the breeze, fabric softeners, or even freshly ironed clothes. And notes like aldehydes, iso-E super, ambroxan, ozonic notes, musky notes, and some soft floral notes. These perfumes are sometimes perceived by us as very synthetic because they truly resemble some chemical products we use, like detergents or dryer sheets. In contrast with the soapy fragrances of the past, which were resembling more of luxurious soaps and had deeper and sometimes heavier olfactive and animalic nuances. Nonetheless, this is a family of fragrances that has a lot of hype, many fans as well as haters. So I would love to read your opinion about them. Do you enjoy this family of fragrances? I know I have some I find truly beautiful. The need for minimalism, simplicity, and neutrality has led to a whole universe of clean, soapy fragrances, and a soft breeze of history related to this aesthetic will slip through this video. So grab a coffee or tea, inhale deeply, and step into your cleanest state of mind. Enjoy. So we begin with a very hyped fragrance, which is Acne Studios par Frédéric Malle. This smells like the sweetest and cuddliest of fabric softeners. I imagine products like Lenore or Casoline or Snuggle. According to the official site of Frédéric Malle, Frédéric found a kindred spirit in perfumer Suzy Le Helly to create this blend. If each perfumer cultivates their own olfactive obsessions, Malle's focus has been trade on aldehydes, synthetic components which lend a perfume a fresh and dazzling quality, such as a zesty or a metallic note. These molecules, utilized for the first time at the dawn of the 20th century, have contributed to the golden era of modern perfumery and have energized timeless masterpieces. Moreover, their fresh, clean scent has contributed since the 1950s to everyday household products. Frédéric Malle and Acne Studios meet at an intersection of fashion, perfumery, and art, and their connection brings this perfume in life. This perfume smells to me like a clean hug. It gives me the image of a very soft, a very sleek sweater that has been just washed with fabric softener added for sure. I cannot detect the notes distinctly in here, but I must say that I can sense very discreetly the peach giving a sweet, fruity freshness and vigor, which is very nice. I think this is the sweetest from the list I have chosen for today's video, and it offers a very interesting, iridescent, transparent, gourmand quality, which is very interesting combined with the soapy, the fabric softener aspect. The aura you leave when you have this on is that of a freshly washed and beautifully softened sweater. It feels cozy and casual at the same time, like a pair of classic jeans and a white shirt. This is the sensation I get. This fragrance lasts for hours on me, and I can detect wafts of it through its whole wear. Very strong and offers the fabric softener aesthetic very intensely and very persistently, which means that you definitely have to enjoy this type of fragrance. A literal fabric softener scent. This was Acne Studios par Frédéric Malle. We proceed to one of my favorite fragrances of this list, Per Se 2787. The inspiration behind this fragrance is the essence of the now. As the official website mentions more specifically, crafting a symphony of achromatic elegance, Per Se is composed of a floral bouquet, orris butter and violet leaves. Juxtaposed with clean aldehydes, bamboo, and a pinch of spicy pepper, a subtle underscore of ombre seeds, angelica roots, and gentle musk complete the incompletable experience of the sensory now. Wow, what a description, really. I'm not sure about the essence of the now, but if I had to use a word to describe this fragrance, it would definitely be achromatic, meant in the most intriguing way possible. This perfume to me is colorless. It is the perfect representation of transparency. Within the lucid spectrum of the aldehydes, you can detect the tangible contoured aspects of soft woods, earthy iris, and musk. There's a rooty quality blended perfectly with the intangible, the immaterial, radiant style of the aldehydes. This perfume also has a violet leaf note, which with its cucumber-like, aquatic, and lucid nuances adds up to the diaphanous feel that this fragrance evokes. The result is a very clean, soapy, neutral but intense cloud that surrounds you for hours. It's minimal, it's bleached, a blend of modern soap and soft, earthy, rooty powder. This is the sensation I get. If you like the note of iris and the note of soap and aldehydes, you should definitely try this fragrance. 2787 with its creation per se. Another favorite of mine, and now we are being introduced with the floral and citrus soapy aesthetic. 724 by MFK. You might need some time in the beginning to get acquainted with it, to perceive its discreet, masterfully done olfactive nuances, because it is very delicate in terms of texture, but it's beautifully present. It smells like you in the most fresh, radiant, and romantic way. It feels like sunlight landing on wildflowers, reflecting back on the sky evermore. This is the sensation I get. With this fragrance, I have gotten so many compliments and comments like, you smell incredible, you smell like spring or summer is here. And what is very interesting is that I have noticed that people feel happy around me when I have this on, which is a very powerful trait, isn't it? I get a very modern take on bergamot, some soapy florals. When it dries down, not now, I get an ambroxan base. The bergamot gives it a very effervescent and sparkly quality, which I enjoy so much. The brand wanted to represent the rhythm of urban life, the continuous flow of the city tempo. This fragrance is very airy, clean, and radiant, so I would not say that it screams urban life to me, but I could definitely say that it could offer a breath of calm and clarity within the constant rush that the urban life demands. It's very modern, very bright, persistent yet fragile. It's beautifully radiant, and I think I would always like to have this in my collection. I usually wear it during spring and summer, but I would not exclude it from my winter choices as well. So this was 724 by MFK. Next is another favorite of mine. Apparently I have many favorites in this list, which takes a different turn from the fragrances mentioned before. And this is Et Voilà by Theo Cabanel, which is a more powdery direction to the modern soapy aesthetic. Well, these got stuck on it randomly when I had it in my bag, and I just left them there because I find them cute. I have often stated how much I love this house with unique offerings, reasonably priced, still very creative, with a characteristic brand signature. According to the brand, the ingredients used in Et Voilà, as well as in their other fragrances, like the musks, are used and processed very differently from the conventional musks, as they are degradable and environmentally friendly. The ambroxan, which is also an ingredient of this fragrance, derives from green chemistry. Oh, I love it. The combination of notes in here leads to perfume that smells to me exactly like freshly ironed clothes, which means that you have washed the clothes, soften them with the most beautiful fragrant fabric softener. Then they have dried in the sun as long as it is required, and now it's time for them to be ironed. Imagine this aromatic steam diffused in the air as soon as the hot iron comes in touch with the freshly washed cloth. This is the sensation I get. Oh my god. Ravenna? Ravenna iki mu? No. It is strongly powdered, apparently from the heliotrope. And the neroli, which is also an ingredient of this fragrance, gives it just a touch of citric freshness. It is very creamy and adjacent to your skin. It achieves a creamy, soapy character, a beautifully velvety sandalwood base. It is extremely intense and long-lasting. Just a few sprays and it will be with you for hours. People have noticed it every time I wore it. It's very noticeable, just so you know. It's a bomb. Et voilà by Theo Cabanel. Now we proceed to the most musky and ozonic fragrance of this list, which is Couleur Primaire by Les Eaux Primordiales. This does not feel like perfume to me. It feels like a chemical compound of the air we breathe, combined with some type of washing powder. I describe this as a space fragrance. It's very minimal, very futuristic. It is non-perfuming. There is some resemblance with previously mentioned Per Se by 2787, but I would say that Couleur Primaire gives me more of detergent vibes rather than a soft, rooty, musky feel. This cannot be described with specific notes, and in general, this type of fragrances are very difficult to analyze. I will give you an image. White linen sheets that have just come out from the washing machine and are now still wet. You know, when they stay for a few minutes in a room, the room borrows the scent, this clean laundry scent, and this aura is what this fragrance reminds me. The image the brand wanted to evoke is clean laundry drying in fresh air. It is undeniably fresh and neutral. It creates a subdued atmosphere stripped of intensity, sharpness, and dramatic excess. Couleur Primaire by Les Eaux Primordiales. Still considering a full bottle. Such a fun offering from Demeter. This fragrance smells to me exactly like a bubble bath. I can get the quality of the soap as well as a warm ozonic feel. And when I smell it, I go back in time. I'm in the tub having a bath after a day full of playing with my friends in the neighborhood. And I'm observing the surface of the water with its playful bubbles. I'm gazing the iridescent colors on the bubbles. Some bubbles are playing around me and popping close to my face. A very carefree moment, which feels very playful, safe, and calm. Now, the brand gets inspired by ivory soap. The ivory soap was created in the 1800s, 1880, if I'm not mistaken, by company Procter & Gamble, and it is known for its purity, its floating trait, and also its gentle quality, its gentle attitude, suitable also for children. Demeter manages to bring this feeling in perfume form with this soapy fragrance that leans very soft and powdery with a tad of dreamy sweetness. Demeter aims to represent, smell-wise, everyday experiences, and they have nailed their signature vibe with this fragrance. It feels very gentle. It's not harsh or utterly synthetic felt. It feels more like a scent to play with, like a scent toy, and I mean that in the best way possible. It's also very long-lasting, considering other creations of the brand, which is very interesting. Well played, Demeter. You have bottled nostalgia itself with pure soap. Now, do you crave for a nuclear washing powder vibe like Tide or Mr. White? then all you need is Puro Lino by Officina delle Essenze. Oh my god. I almost cannot wear this fragrance because of how literal it is on the detergent vibe. Imagine the moment you add the washing powder in the washing machine, and for some reason you decide to go very close and take a deep breath of that powder. This is what you firstly get with Puro Lino. It is the nuclear intensity of a very, very fragrant, powdery detergent. Then with time, the fragrance morphs into the slightly softer type of freshly washed linen. But this linen is undeniably and undoubtedly clean and very, very fragrant. As the perfumer Maurizio Lembo, who is also the creator of Officina delle Essenze, mentions in the official website, the emotion of those summer afternoons spent playing and chasing each other among fresh sheets, hung out to dry in the sun. Puro Lino is my homage to the timeless memories each of us carries from childhood. A safe, sincere embrace capable of gifting us moments of priceless serenity. I must say that this image brings more delicate feelings than the olfactive impression that this fragrance offers. To me, this fragrance is a masterful creation that has managed to encapsulate the fragrant synthetic smell of soapiness and freshness. It is like a symphony that captures the fierce dance of crisp and clean whispers. It's not so easy for me to wear exactly because of its intensity, but I many times use it to scent the clothes I'm wearing. If you like this type of fragrance, this should definitely be part of your collection. Puro Lino by Officina delle Essenze. Believe it or not, this perfume could be one of the muses of today's modern soapy aesthetic trend. Glow by J.Lo. Conceived in 1998, Jennifer Lopez had then stated, "I wanted Glow to be fresh and clean, but still sexy and sensual. Something that feels like you just came out of the shower and are the sexiest person in the world." This fragrance is amazingly sensual and soapy at the same time. So I must say that the perfumer that worked with Jennifer Lopez really heard her and gave the fragrance she wanted to create. I love it and I wear it very often in the summer. It is a floral soapy fragrance. There are alternations between white flowers, citruses, and musk. When you smell it from up close, it might feel a bit sharp, dry and sharp, more specific. But its aura is a magical thing. I was in an acting course some years ago and there was this girl who I knew. When she walked by, she left this amazingly charming, white, floral, soapy aura. And I had to ask her what perfume she wears. And she told me she wore Glow. And indeed, the magic of this fragrance is its aura, its glow. So I find the title of the fragrance very appropriate. I get orange blossom and tuberose, the main flowers I get. A very invigorating blast of grapefruit. It offers a bitterness to the white floral quality of the fragrance. The base notes, the musk, the sandalwood, and the orris root create this buttery, creamy, soft, woody layer underneath the white flowers, which are exactly the traits that make this fragrance very, very sensual. I get compliments all the time when I wear it. It's long-lasting, not very intense, but there is this persistent aura of the fragrance through its whole wear, which is around 7 hours or more. J.Lo Glow. True beauty sometimes lies in simplicity, and these fragrances are able to offer a breath of clarity in the busy world we live today. I hope you enjoyed the talk on this very much appreciated family of fragrances, and we'll see you again in my next video. Until then, I send you the purest embrace and the freshest whisper of air.